Welcome to the C1D Paintball Podcast. You can listen to us on Spotify, Facebook, and YouTube. Be sure to join our Discord. It's the best place to connect with other paintball fans, talk strategy, share stories, and show your love for the game.
Huge news, Roy. The C1D Paintball team has a podcast. Yes, that's right, Dick. Wild bunch, those C1D fellas. Tune in every Sunday at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time for an amazing podcast.
Dad, come on.
Andrew's got the mic, but he's covered in pain. Connor's telling stories that probably ain't. Jeff's in the corner eating nacho cheese. Mike's got a stock involving bees. C1D, the paintball spree. Four dudes talking nonsense hilariously. Shots fired, chaos ensues. They'll podcast their way to colorful brews. Hey, hey! Connor says, I'm the sniper, man, you can't see me. Andrew trips, yells, medic, hits a tree. Jeff's debating if nachos are here. Mike's like, guys, we need a battle plan here. Tactical brilliance or just dumb luck. Mike's covered in glitter, Jeff's stuck in mud. C1D, the paintball spree. Four dudes talking nonsense hilariously. Shots fired, chaos ensues. The podcast their way to colorful brews. C1D, the paintball spree. Four dudes talking nonsense hilariously. Shots fired, chaos ensues. The podcast their way to colorful brews. Behind enemy lines with a bag of chips. Jeff spills salsa, everyone flips. Connor's hiding, Andrew's yelling. Mike's camo's bright pink storytelling.
Hey there. I'm sorry, I just got tears in my eyes. Prince wrote that song, and it chokes me up. We saved the really good shit for today's guest. I'm Andrew. Welcome to the C1D Paintball Podcast. We got a full house today. I'm going to introduce my co-host first. We got Connor G. How's it going, Connor?
Good news.
Now, for those of you watching on YouTube, not listening on Spotify, so just not using, for those of you using your eyes, you'll see that the Montreal Canadiens, as this recording, are still in the playoffs because he's got the playoff beard. And Yep. And Connor now understands those ears. It's like, why did you shave your beard? It's like it itches. Now he understands. He understands. Okay, speaking of itches, we have Jeff.
Hi, glad to be here. Wait a minute.
He's trying. I know he'll come up with something good for that one. And of course, we got from south of the border, where if you're from where he is, means a totally different thing. Producer Mike, how you doing, Mike?
I'm doing great.
Okay, we have a special guest to us, and if you are involved in paintball in a lot of Canada, Eastern United States even, you've seen the company name, you've seen it on swag. Oh my gosh, look at what we're wearing. These nice new podcast shirts, C1D, from Shawn and his team at Intensity Customs. I really want to welcome this guy because he's a legend. Welcome, Shawn.
Well, I think you probably need to set the bar a little bit higher. Happy to be here, guys.
Look, we got D-Day coming up, and it's one of my favorite things about D-Day is Saturday walking around and checking out the Intensity tent to see what they got. They've always got great stuff. It's always priced so well. Although Mike has a beef about something that was supposed to be an exclusive, but I've told him to put that down. Remember you got your exclusive shirt? Or was that after walking around with the king on the field for a while?
I'm confused. I'm lost.
You got a shirt? Didn't you get a shirt?
Bones
Two-
shirt.
the
Oh
Bones-
yeah. Oh yeah, I got the Bones Beach. It was like an exclusive, super
Yeah,
exclusive.
We heard nothing about it.
Yep.
And
we
then
heard
I was so excited because I had managed to get the exclusive, shirt off the order. And then I saw him on the rack, and I was like, "Son of a bitch!" They're not so exclusive.
Sean, we just want to get.
I got one.
Your name's your name's never going to be spelt the same fucking way on your shirt again, Mike. After that,
No,
Miko.
assholes always spelled
Mika.
the same way.
Oh.
No, and it was. I mean, and that's the thing about all the shirts we do. We decide up front how many we're going to run of a shirt. Bones Beach. There was only 40 of those shirts made.
Oh man.
So
Really?
really.
Oh, so it is,
and-
I feel better.
And all our
Say
shirts.
sorry. Say
I'm
sorry.
sorry, Sean.
Since 2023, all of our shirts are that. So, like, if we sell out of a shirt at, for instance, D-Day, we drop 3 new shirts. Well, actually, drop 4 new shirts if you count the long sleeve. But if we sell out of those at D-Day, we don't release those again later in the year. We don't print more and run them at the next events. They're gone.
Oh,
wait a minute.
man.
Did you say 4 shirts D-Day? Are you talking about this year?
Yep. Yeah, we'll have 3 new tech tees. We'll have actually. I'm wearing the long sleeve lightweight hoodie.
Hell yeah.
I like that.
We have a limited print jogger that's coming. That there's only 20 of.
Wow.
I think there's 8 new headbands. So trying to we always drop lots of new stuff at D-Day because it's the first event of the season. But it's trying to walk that line between exclusivity and still getting everybody a shot at it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the hard part because I don't ever want to make 100 of something that everybody can have. I mean, obviously I'd love to sell 200 t-shirts. It'd be phenomenal. That'd be super cool, but it stops being what we do if we do that.
Yeah. By the
By the way-
one of my favorite shirts. Still one of my favorite shirts, the Bone Beach one.
By the way, that was a C1D media exclusive, the release of these shirts on D-Day.
Yeah. Yeah, we haven't other than we haven't actually teased any of them yet, interestingly enough. And we've already had sort of a soft opening event because we've every year when we show up to D-Day, it's a whole new setup. So we've got another whole new setup. So we did a soft opening and we didn't drop any of the new stuff at that soft opening. Like
No
none
shit.
of it. Which is crazy because it ended up we didn't think it was gonna be a big event. It ended up being a big event. And I'm like, oh man, we should have dropped the stuff a week early. But we didn't. And there's a couple of exciting things this year as well because it's also our 20th anniversary. So
Oh, nice. Congratulations. Hell yeah.
we'll have some 20th anniversary stuff to give away and excited about that. Not bad for a guy who started screen printing shirts on his kitchen floor because it was too expensive.
God,
to have a set of-
screen printing. Jeez.
Like literally because we were going to play the Chicago NPPL and there was only 7 of us and no screen printer would touch making a run of 7 shirts.
No, back then you couldn't. I remember
Yep,
back.
So I screen printed them on my kitchen floor for my team. Dwayne Summerhays, who owned Flag Swipe at the time, really liked them, thought they were kind of cool. He's like, could you run me some? And I'm like, oh, sure. And I'm like, how the fuck am I going to do this on my kitchen floor? So he actually put in an order big enough for Flag Swipe for me to actually order a screen printing press off the internet. And it was just for the first probably 5 years, every dime we made went into buying new equipment, learning new techniques, branching outwards. And then in 2011, we started making jerseys.
Technology in 20 years has changed immensely. I mean, the stuff you can get on a shirt is sick. And one of the reasons why I like your stuff is it seems to it's out there yet still like mainstream at the same time. You know what I mean? Like it's not too because look, I'm an old guy. I like traditional stuff.
Yep.
But then I'll see stuff like last year. You had these really cool. It looked like a golf shirt, but it was a little logo of Maritime Paintball Podcast.
Yep.
And so you could. I'm swear to God, you could wear this golfing, beautiful looking shirt. You know the material breathes really well, and it's a Maritime. Well, it's my favorite podcast, but I'm just saying. You know, it's a classy looking shirt. And Connor got the famous road one, the old road map there.
Yeah.
The kids thing.
The playmat. The playmat.
The playmat. Yeah. I mean, look, here's the thing too. And I'm going to say it right out. I'm a control freak when it comes to graphics and stuff. Mike's learning this.
No.
So I'm going to Shawn and it's like, this is what I'd like for my jersey. And he goes, okay. And then right away he comes back with something. He's listening like, oh, a little just maple leaf here, but it's all different. And I'm looking at saying, fuck, that's good.
Just leave it to the professionals.
And it's like, go figure. It's like the little, just the little, like, it looks like a dagger on the sleeve of the shirt. Of course, when you play paintball and you got your arm up, it looks like you're going forward. It gives that momentum. And it's like, why doubt a professional?
Well, for me, one of the biggest things I love about doing what we do, and what really moved us forward is when we brought in our first sort of real sports designer, who actually part of their degree was learning about the psychology of sportswear, why players wear numbers that they do in different sports, right? Receivers in football, for instance. Now, the biggest thing is you'll see them wear skinny numbers. Skinny numbers make them appear thinner than what they are. They're harder to grab onto. Your eyes don't catch them as fast.
Wow.
Running backs tend to wear the wider numbers because, again, it makes them look bigger. So when they're throwing a block or they're, guys will reach out wider and miss because they appear to be wider than what they are. Your brain plays that trick on you. That's why there's the stripes where they are on the shoulders. And paintball's, taking those pieces for the last probably 8 years and working those into paintball jerseys is super, super cool. And for me, I build paintball jerseys not necessarily to wear, but to be photographed, right? You want your logos where they're going to show up in pictures. And lots of times guys will say, oh, that looks really low, or it looks like it's on the back of the arm. I'm like, yeah, and it is going to be when you're standing in the staging area, but nobody's taking a picture of you when you're standing in the staging area. Right. You want all this stuff to show up when you're out on the field, when, the greats are out there shooting you. And you have to really think that way. The other thing, the hardest thing to convince people of is scale, because everybody wants everything to be huge. And when I show them the first print, they're like, that's really small. Can you make that bigger? I'm like, you are definitely not going to want this bigger.
Ironically, look behind me. The purple haze shirt with the crooked C1D. Yeah. When you showed me the proof of that, and it's like, and you kept it simple just with the purple and that on it.
Yeah.
It's so when to balance the no, you got to trust the professionals.
Yeah, well, I mean, even a broken clock's right twice a day, right?
Yeah, there you go.
I'm gonna tear from my eyes with the genuine intensity. Watch my glasses.
Man, I feel like I should have brought more stuff. You're way better prepared than I am.
No, this is the room where my wife lets me keep it. Outside of this, all her shit's in the garage.
Right.
Even over here from the States, I had you make me my work jerseys for my dog walking business. And I get compliments. I wear that all the time. I get compliments on those all the time. And the quality of double stitching, it's super good, man.
Yeah, well, we did. It's to our own detriment. Our stuff doesn't fall apart, right? So that's the problem typically when we sell stuff is we don't get to sell you a set the next year because your stuff still looks halfway decent and is usable.
Yeah, you feed us more and we get bigger. We have to buy larger sizes.
I could do that. There is always candy and food at our booth if you want to stop by. Always.
Twice, 3 times.
Yeah. That booth, by the way, is the hub of, as far as I'm concerned, it's a hub of activity on D-Day.
Absolutely.
It's just, hey, what's the layout of it? You got the rack in front there, and God, if you were serving us candy and all that, and it's like, hey, they're giving away free stickers. There's patches, intensity patches. Why is he giving patches away? Because, the patch I got from it, I put it on my bandolier, and every video I take, intensity paintball.
Well, what kind of douchebag charges you for a sticker or a patch advertising their own business, right?
Right.
That's it.
That's, please advertise for me. By the way, that's $7.
Yeah.
That's just shit. I mean, in my mind, that's shitty, right? You're doing me the favor of advertising my business. Here's a patch, right?
It's absolutely.
So you cover everything, right? I mean, you are, as far as paintball, it's like, by the way, the hoodie you're wearing, it's like the MLB style ones they wear, the managers wear. Yep. And I love the hoodies you made for us, but I'm looking at that and it's like, okay, it's just, I guess that's going to be the 10th anniversary one. Plus I got Shawn already told him next year, Purple Haze, our first jersey for our 10th anniversary, but God, totally nerding out here. But what else do you do besides the paintball? What is big?
Well, paintball is actually probably the smallest part of what we do. We relatively large into esports.
Nice. Hell yeah.
I can't unfortunately talk about the stuff that we make because it's private label stuff, but you have 100%, if you watch any of the big esports online, you have absolutely seen our stuff. And it's like that. I mean, paintball's the same way, right? We can talk about Dye, obviously, because we work closely with Dye. Lots of the stuff you see in terms of their soft goods come from us as well, right? So we make lots of private label stuff. But we, back in the day, we did the first ugly Christmas sweater jerseys for the OHL.
Nice.
That was in like 2014. So there's really no avenue we're not in. Shooting stuff is big in the States, so we have specific shooting stuff, and we tend to do stuff that's very specific for each sport. So a bowling shirt is different than a golf shirt because they need to be cut differently because your body moves differently. Bowling's typically done indoors in the winter, and golf is done outside in the summer, so they have to be different materials. You're exposed to way more things like oil in bowling than you are in golf, right? So you have to be cognizant of what that's going to face. You'd end up with a big like dirt mark on the front of your shirt from the ball oil or the lane oil. So that's one of the things that sort of drives the way we do things, is making sure that all the pieces we do are sport specific. We went to our first airsoft event last weekend just to kind of get a lay of the land of what they might be interested in, because there's nothing worse than somebody from outside showing up and saying, "Hey, this is what you want."
Right.
No. I want to hear what people want, and that's sort of where all the designs come from. The Bones Beach design came from talking to some of the Wasaga guys about, what do you guys think would be cool on a shirt, right? And they were just throwing ideas, and I'm like, all right, I can add that, I can add that, I can add that, and then before you know it, I was like, this is probably too much.
It was very NASCAR-esque.
Right. It was a lot. And that just goes to show you that there's no accounting for taste, right? Because people love that one. And I'm like, we're not going to sell a single one of these things. And they sold like crazy. And then there's some that I'm like, these are going to fly off the shelves, and then they're on the discount rack this year. So
which is my favorite
It's
rack.
a guess.
It's his favorite rack. Yeah.
We cleaned that thing out on Sunday, D-Day last year. Me and my wife just were scooping shit. Oh, this is not the right size, but we want it anyway. We'll just
It's a dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see what the airsoft. Connor and I played airsoft a couple times. Yeah, they're more into the milsim look, but I'd imagine event shirts and sweatshirts would be big for them.
Yeah, you know what? We didn't really get that impression. It was a super cool experience. I liked seeing the way things happened, and I liked seeing the differences. But there's a lot to digest there. In terms of how we can be a benefit and not just another guy showing up, right?
Yeah.
The biggest thing for me that I thought was strange is sort of the vendors show up for 2 hours, and then pack up and go home, and then for the rest of the weekend, there's nobody there.
Really? Oh, wow.
It was totally strange. And the other thing is when the game starts, there isn't a single person in the staging area. Not one. There was 314 people there. And that is wavered for 314 wavered people, and there was not a person in the staging area for the first 5.5 hours. Mine was blown.
They get fined.
Yeah. Well, look, when the difference.
So weird.
We only did the 2 events last year, so I want to be fair. It was the GOTA events at First Person FPS in Ottawa.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's. I say it's in Ottawa. I'm not sure if it's south of it in a different town, but it is basically south of Ottawa. It's near the airport. We went there as we noticed, like when the game starts, and it's a big game to go to events. It's you're walking and you're being inserted, and it's very, it's very quiet. I mean, D-Day, well, I don't run. Jeff and I kind of sit back and watch the kids run up.
Yeah.
While we yell at them. Yeah, there's this intensity of it, and it's like I can say, "Oh yeah, it's that Russian paintball," but at the same time, it's this anticipation in airsoft. There is that difference. And by the way, even though I mentioned like they like a lot of military-looking stuff, we wore our C1D jerseys under vests.
Yeah,
and it's nice and cool. Our arms are you still see our logo on it, and we could have made it more military looking if we wanted to do that, but it was so nice and cool underneath. It was perfect.
We've got some prototypes we're going to show off at D-Day. We've been working on it for over a year now, but it's to the point where we're just about ready to, like, we're going to start making sizing proofs, and we have a whole new tactical line coming.
Wow.
That's going to be available in stock colors, but it's also going to be customizable. So you could have whatever, if you had some crazy random World War II camo that you wanted your pants and your tactical smock to be, we can do that.
Okay.
Or if you want a pattern like what you got, we can do that.
Martin Sheen's Tiger Stripe in Apocalypse Now. It was used just by operatives. You know it, Jeff, right?
I do know it.
Yeah, you know it too, Shawn?
Yep.
Oh, Jesus, I might buy them all from you because I want it exclusive to me, man. I would go ape shit over that.
Well, I can tell you right now, we're not going to release a Tiger Stripe one. So if you want one made, we can absolutely do it. We'll do our version of multicam, which is called VersaCam.
Okay.
It's quite a bit different than multicam. We're going to do a tan, an olive, a black, and I'm fighting with my guys because I really want to do a gray. I had a lengthy career in law enforcement, and I always love my gray pajamas.
Congratulations. By the way, thank you for that.
Yeah.
Conrad, who was on our show last week, he just retired. He was RCMP and also military police with the Canadian Forces for over 30 years. So any law enforcement or police is more than welcome on our show.
Yeah, 25 plus years before I stepped back. So it's I'm speaking of old guys.
Speaking of
Me too.
What was your sport? What was your sport when you were a kid or whatever? And I didn't ask you if you like the Toronto Maple Leafs, and if you do, just don't mention hockey, and we'll be all right.
So,
our costs may have just gone up 20%. By the way,
no. I actually was. My dad worked overseas, so I grew up till I was 11 years old in the north part of Africa in Algeria.
Oh my God!
So I came back to Canada, and had never skated or anything, right? So you guys all being sort of this area, if you're not skating by the time you're 5, you're pretty much not going to play hockey. And I was a huge hockey fan. I was a huge Toronto Maple Leaf fan. And then when they made it to the second round in 2022 and got knocked out, I swore off. It was just too much emotionally. And I can say I have not watched a hockey game since.
Really? Because
just too much.
Connor is in psychology, and he wanted to take. He's thinking about he's probably going to do stuff with children. No Epstein jokes, please. Working with kids with special needs and such. But sports psychology and that. You see where I'm going with this, Connor?
Yeah. Well, I couldn't do it anymore.
Leaf fans?
Yeah, do a little investigation on them. But no, it's one of my good friends that plays with us every now and then. He was out yesterday, Michael. He has a family from Toronto, and so he's a Leafs fan. And every year is their year, and when they lose, I'm done with the team. And so I'm baffled that he always says that, but you actually took the.
But you actually didn't come back.
Mike
wasn't like sports, but
he's like.
I was sort of in a transition point. I was, at that point I was getting ready to leave my job, and I was like, you know what, I cannot continue to emotionally invest in things that just I know are going to let me down. I need to
This
put
is
that
so
energy somewhere
Canadian.
else.
He's
Mark-
beaten
Right.
the abusive cycle of Leaf fandom.
Exactly.
Congratulate. We're
And my
proud of
whole
you.
life.
There's hope for Mike, but we're proud of you.
Yeah.
But and I think you know what, I think I like the Leafs because when I came back, sort of everybody around me liked the Leafs. You know, I live in Sarnia, so in Sarnia you're either a Red Wings fan or a Leafs fan, one or the other. I think I'd probably pick the Leafs because they were Canadians.
Yeah.
So that's sort of where that came from. My sport was always football. I played football all the way through high school and played in university as well. So that was my go-to, as well as paintball. I started playing paintball in '87. Couldn't play during university because I played football. But
In '87, wow, right near the beginning.
Yeah. One of my mom's friends from work is like, "Hey, do you think your kid want to come play paintball? We need an extra person." And I played at the original flag swipe paintball field, a couple hours away from my house, and played that first time, and I was hooked.
That's all
hard.
it takes.
Yeah,
all it takes.
I was like, I was 15. I have to get a job. My mom's like, "Why do you want a job so bad? You're gonna work the rest of your life." I'm like, "Because I gotta buy paintball stuff."
Yeah.
Gotta pay for
the
paint.
financial burden begins.
Yep. No, and it was I mean, until I was 16 because obviously I was old enough not to have graduated licensing. Everything I made from the time I was about my 15th birthday until I was 16, everything I made went into paintball, and then for about a year, everything I made went into a car, and then it was, I went, a year later, I went off to university, and everything sort of took a back seat. And then when I got out of university, I played paintball again and still had that buzz. So I actually opened a field with a friend.
Awesome.
And we had actually at that time, we had one of the largest indoor fields in Canada.
Nice.
Which is an awesome story because the guy we were renting it from didn't actually own it. So we ended up getting sued for it was amazing. The guy ended up he did this a bunch apparently. So he did his name was John DeAndrea. He went to jail for quite some time. But we went to run.
It wasn't.
Well, it was amazing because we went to run a booking one weekend and all our stuff was gone, right? Like they had gone in and cleared everything out with a fork truck. Like, I mean, everything was gone. Our guns, our air system, everything.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it was not awesome. And of course, insurance is like, well, you were there illegally, so none of it's covered. Yeah, it was so it was a couple of really great years followed by a couple of years of all right, what's next? So that's when I actually, because anybody knows if you run a field, you don't get to play very much.
No.
So I'm like, I'm going to start playing. So that's when I started playing competitively. Then a couple of years after that, the CXBL came along. I played in the CXBL. Then through the CXBL, ended up meeting some American pros and played down there for a while. Then started coaching a team called LA Infamous with as an assistant coach. And then when back paintball came back, I played professionally with them for 3 years, sort of in the late 2016 to 2019.
Wow.
While helping coach the pro team, and
Nice.
Obviously COVID changed everything, right?
Which division and team are?
I played CXBL with London Express.
Nice.
So,
Okay, let's get into it here.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what you can, because you don't want to expose current customers.
Sure.
Some of the more stranger things you've made, or maybe a story of like when you recommended something, but it's like, no. I mean, is there anything that like, that any juicy tidbits? You already gave us an exclusive about the 4 releases and the new line.
I don't ever say no. There's been a few things that I wouldn't put my logo on when we made it. I like to, and again, I'm different. We're a little different than most companies. Most companies, like, their logo is everywhere on everything, right? They got it on every panel, and that absolutely drives me insane. You're spending money to buy custom stuff. It's your custom stuff. I like throwing a little logo on the back of the neck. Actually, for a while there, a manufacturer's mark was actually legal. You had to have it somewhere on there in Canada. And we are a Canadian registered manufacturer. So if you look on all our tags, you can actually see our registration number in the tags.
And it's a good looking logo. It's synonymous with quality stuff. If you play paintball and anywhere, 200 miles at least around this, probably 400 miles, people will that know anything about jerseys will see Intensity and they'll know, yeah. They make good stuff. They're everywhere. Yeah, it's a good logo. It's a cool logo to have, you know.
It's nice and clean.
Yeah,
nice and just clean and simple. And
it's and I'll tell you, I appreciate the compliments. But when I created the logo, the internet was not what it is now. And the reason the Intensity doesn't have an eye on the front of it is because in the original logo, the eye was angled the wrong way. So it made it look like an M on the front of it. And then it was Intensity.
Intensity.
Yeah, right. See, it's catchy, but it just doesn't work.
I like that without the eye. It's just
right.
It separates
when somebody asked you to spell it, it's like the intensitycustoms.com. They're like, how do you spell that? They just struggle without that eye. You say, and you can't say intensity without the eye because then they always miss the one in the middle.
Miss the one.
He actually registered his company email address to be Intensity with an I for the emails he'd miss. Yeah.
We actually do own that as well.
Good plan. Good plan.
And we're funny enough, and one of the things I can probably let go now is we're going to be moving most of our custom stuff, aside from the paintball stuff, to a new website. Because the problem is not a problem, but you see a lot of paintball stuff when you go to intensitycustoms.com. You kind of got to hunt for the custom stuff. So we want to, we're going to do a separate site for the tents and stuff that we do. Which is probably our second biggest line of business.
When I saw Savage Army last year with their tent,
and
everybody's talking about how people are like talking about it, and it's like, we gotta make some extra money.
We can't sell blood in Canada.
No, but you can sell plasma.
Oh, we can sell blood and semen as long as they're not mixed.
I was gonna say it, but then I decided not to. I'm glad you did.
Well, everybody's got two kidneys. If everybody coughed up a kidney, right?
Yeah.
I can give up. Connor's got a spare for me, so I can give both of mine up.
There you go.
That's how it works, right?
That's why you have kids.
It's funny you say that. Both my kids are adult now, so we joke about the things I say. But I used to tell my youngest when she was little that we had her as a backup just in case something happened to the first one.
The air and the spare, yeah.
I wonder. She moved out of home really early. I don't know why that is, but
I remember back in we're going to talk around 86, 87. I was going to John Abbott Cégep, so a junior college here in Quebec. And they had their own screening department in the college, and we got custom T-shirts for the radio station, and they made us whatever we wanted. And there was a gamers club, and these little runoffs they would send. They'd also do it for the university for like Frosh Week and all this. And I'd imagine, and I just remember ordering something, and we ordered hockey jerseys. Oh Jesus! When Wayne Gretzky went to the Kings and those new jerseys came out.
Oh, the black and silver.
Oh, everyone went nuts. And it's like, okay, collect the money. And these are the numbers we want. There was no thing of font. It's like, these are the numbers I want. And you didn't know till you damn well got them how they were. But you were just so damn happy. You get that box. Like, I love how the Intensity boxes they ship in. Like the propaganda on it with lines, it's like, what's in the box? It's like, it's the happiest box. It's the happiest box in the world when it's at your door.
Well, that's that's sort of the core of our whole thing, right? Is the experience needs to be an experience. Like if it's not the best part of your day, we're probably doing something wrong. Just like paintball should be the best part of your weekend, right? If you aren't going and having an awesome time, then find something else.
Yep.
Go find, and I don't get me wrong. I want as many people to play paintball as possible. I don't care who they buy from because I love paintball. But if it's not the best part of your weekend, then go find what makes you happy because life is way too short not to be happy.
100%.
That is correct. That is correct. So hell with it. I am getting a C1D ref shirt. There you go, guys. It's done. It's done.
It's totally gonna say shoot me for a prize.
Yeah.
On the back.
So you had mentioned like making those shirts on your floor and stuff, like for your team. And obviously everything usually starts as a hobby, but when was the turning point for you when you started like really pushing shirts and being like, all right, I want to get out there and do this. There's competition everywhere, but like I want to put myself up here.
We've never ever taken out an ad ever. We don't, if you look, just other than right before events, we very infrequently post on Facebook. I am a firm believer that my customers are the people who sell my products. And there's a couple of reasons behind that. First of all, it keeps you honest, right? Mm-hmm. Because if I have a bad order, I have to make it up. Because we're not perfect. We absolutely make mistakes. Anybody who says they don't make the mistakes is full of shit.
Lying.
Absolutely.
It's how you handle that, right? Own it. Yeah. We fucked the dog on this one. Sorry. Well, this is how we'll make it right. This is how we're going to fix it. And stand behind that. So we've never ever advertised. We've always just continued to pump out work, and it's just grown and grown. And even when I was, making stuff for, pro teams and that sort of stuff, we never ever put our logos on stuff because I never wanted that to influence the growth. I always wanted the growth to be super organic, and I wanted it to be based on the service we provided and the products we provided, and nothing else.
And that's
anybody
what
can go out and spend a fortune on ads and always be in your face, and we didn't want to be that company.
Absolutely, that's awesome.
Well, when you're talking a sport like paintball too, where especially us, because most of our guys play MagFed, but we welcome anybody. We got pumps, we got lots of hoppers, even MagFed markers with the hoppers. We spend a lot of time in the staging area, and people will look and they'll ask about equipment and they'll ask about shirts. Now, of course, our guys already have shirts, but over the last 2 years, just people on the field asking, where did you get your shirts? And it's like, it's right there. Look at the way it's spelled. Remember how it's spelled. You just go to their website because they pop. And it's just so, I know a lot of companies, it's like companies do it. Like I am inundated with people sending me things for patches.
Yep.
Like absolutely inundated. And, but I mean, there's a budget, and then there's so many, it just, the stuff you have, and the fact that you're willing to make the smaller orders too. I mean, your name's all over the place.
Yeah. And you know what, the reason we have a minimum of most things of 5, and that's just simply to cover the cost it takes to set it up and get it printing. At the end of the day, we got staff to pay. But we always get ragged on because we don't charge more. A couple of the bigger companies we make stuff for charge double what we charge for a tech tee.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah.
And my thing is always, because you can charge more doesn't mean you should charge more.
Exactly.
So we try and keep things fair. We try and make sure that we have something that anybody can walk into the booth and buy. We've got stuff as cheap as $5 in the booth. Just so nobody feels like they're excluded. And that's, the $5 items, typically the microfibers. We lose money on a $5 microfiber.
Right.
Well, those your armbands, medic armband. It's like, well, I've already bought 2 shirts earlier. Then I holy shit, they got the medic armbands.
Yep.
There's a $5 like your other armband. Yeah, okay, good. There's 2 right there. Why not buy? I'd be stupid not to buy it at that price.
And again, we I think probably with the way this year has gone with because our the little Intensity Customs badges come from Vietnam.
Okay.
Now they actually used to go through the Middle East because it was actually faster to go through the Middle East.
Okay.
And then Europe. With those going up, we're probably going to lose money on armbands this year, but they're still going to be $5 because that's just what we've always charged, and that's what seems right, and it's easy.
Okay. Well, working in international shipping, I know exactly what you mean about that trade route and what's going on with that.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
I lived that life for a while where, you'd wake up in the morning and, the morning being 4:00 and try and negotiate cargo on airlines.
Oh,
right.
John.
Trying to buy box slots
Yes.
on airlines.
Oh,
So we could get stuff.
I have two very good people that report to me that I'm able to hand that off to because, I did that for many years.
It's terrible. And I normally have people who do that stuff for me. Like we have a logistics person. But it's already operating in 3 time zones and then adding a 4th and a 5th. It was too much for them. It was too much for me to ask them. So I'm like, I'll take this on. How bad could it be? And by week 2, I'm like, this is the worst thing. This is terrible. Why did I do this?
Yes, why did I do the air freight? Yeah, I love when. And I know what I was gonna. No more talking about my job. Okay.
Yeah. Well, if it makes you feel better, we have a standard sea freight route as well that does the sort of the Ningbo, Japan, Tacoma.
The milk run. Yeah.
So we have a sea container on that regularly as well. So for some of our slower stuff, and some of our, so we don't. Pretty much all of our final assembly is done here in Canada. We do things like, for instance, the palm of our hand job gloves is covered in silicone.
Okay.
It's virtually impossible to print silicone here in Canada.
Okay.
You have to have essentially a level 1 clean room.
Okay.
In order to print it, you have to have like the exhaust stuff you have to have, and the way you capture the fumes is just crazy.
Okay.
And a set of gloves would cost $200.
No. It's an international economy. That's just the way it is.
Yep.
No matter where you live, you have at least a little bit. Most of the time, it's understood in that, and it's not easy times right now. Look, life takes a roller coaster with things like that. For a small business celebrating your 20th anniversary with everything that's happened in that 20 years. I mean,
but you know what? We haven't had a price increase since 2018, and I don't anticipate a price increase next year. We've just simply taken it out of margin. We don't make as much as we used to, but you know what? Because we've been running for so long, our equipment is established. Our staff are established, so we don't have a lot of new overhead. So rather than putting that money in my pocket, my wife gets a couple of great vacations a year that makes her happy, and we just simply make less money, and I'm okay with that, because paintball is struggling. Anything that is optional is struggling right now. Gas is $2 a gallon. Beef is $8.99 a pound, or $2 a liter. Sorry. I was looking at Mike when I was saying it. He's like, $2 a gallon.
It's like, I understand it. I get
it. It's certainly not $2 a gallon where he lives.
No, that's for sure.
So we made a conscious choice this year not to change any pricing, sort of for that, the home feeling, right? We want people to feel like, hey, there's something that's not changing. We can go to a place where things are still the same. And I think that culture and sort of that thought is what's going to get us through the lean times that are going to come over the next year or so. And ideally make us positioned well for when we do have the rebound, because it always rebounds.
It does. Just like me talking about the stock market to my wife. It went down this much today. We lost this much. You don't lose until you cash out. And yeah. So,
yeah, I don't even look anymore. It just makes me sad.
Okay. So what other, look, I talked about that whole, as I'm playing with the lights here in the studio,
That's amazing.
Yeah. It's, I'm
in a closet.
Your lifestyle it's 2026, Shawn, and we love you the way you are.
Yeah. No, I'm actually in my shop. They're at home, and there is so much shit behind me. It was easier to throw up a wall than it was to clean up.
Hell yeah.
Look at that nice wall. Yeah, we're sitting there. We're pulling up a D-Day. We're going to put all our canopies up, our tent. We're going to kick ass. And it's like, do not go next to the Intensity tent. It's going to look like shit next to that thing.
Well, and it is all new this year.
Oh,
ooh.
that's why we got the camo netting to hide our shit. At least it's camo looking, kind of,
Yeah. Well, you don't have to worry about air raids, right?
There you go.
You, on the other hand.
You never see me driving my drone before. That's just hell from the sky.
I wrecked the drone last year flying because I wanted to come into my setup, and I thought I'd clear the top and did not. So I came in at 30 kilometers an hour into the front of one of the poles and totaled the drone last year. So I feel you.
I do it once a year.
It was the first day though, right? I'd had the drone for like 3 weeks, and I'm like, my wife's like, did you just? I'm like, yeah. You're an idiot. Yeah.
Miranda stepped on mine yesterday because I was getting too good of an action shot, but luckily she just put a ginger paw on it, so now she's got her stamp on it there. That's Mike's wife who plays with us. By the way, we played paintball yesterday. And there was two couples. There was two sets of father and son, 3 couples. Who else was it? Oh yeah, 3 couples. 3 couples.
Pierre and Valerie. Pierre and
Jenny.
Yeah, Jenny. Sorry,
Jenny. And Jenny gets the. Oh no, we can't.
Don't tell Jenny about Valerie. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, we had a family. We have a real family feel with it, and even some of the guys yesterday is when I said, "Well, we're going to get podcast jerseys," and I thought, well, some of the guys, may don't. A lot of the guys who play with us don't listen to the podcast because that's just like a side thing. Yeah. And people yesterday said, "Oh, you're going to sell those? You're going to sell those?" And it's like I wasn't going. I didn't think anybody wanted, but we'll see.
What you need to flip them so they're red sleeves with a black body.
Yeah.
And that's
the core. And then you got the general public.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. No admittance on the back, staff, and the other one's no admittance with that.
Yeah.
So what is I know you're busy all year round because even in production downtime you have planning, renegotiating with suppliers and such.
We actually don't have a production downtime. We literally go from one sport to another. So we're, other than the 2-week shutdown at Christmas, and then I give everybody a week off around Canada Day. And obviously their vacation time around that. We don't have any production downtime at all. We're pedal to the metal, printing 14 hours a day, 6 days a week.
Yeah.
Well, look, I was talking. I get on. I'm sitting there at night. My wife's asleep. She fell asleep, so I get my iPad out, sitting there talking. I'm looking at all kinds of like things on social media, and I just open it up. Intensity window. It's like, you guys do head wraps? Yeah.
Yep.
And then he sends a picture of it. I said, no, just the wrap without the mesh. Yeah, we do that. Do you guys do this? Oh, we can do that. And it's like, oh no. It's like, oh my, this rabbit hole.
Can of beans.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I want head wrap.
What, was I not supposed to show that?
Beautiful. No,
I love it. I love it. Well, it's funny because Mike and Jeff want with the mesh on top. And I said, after we're doing it with the second batch of jerseys, it's like,
yeah.
Oh my God. What's the strangest thing you've ever had to make? You made it and you were actually mildly surprised, or,
I don't think anything surprises me. People have such crazy tastes, lots of weird anime stuff. Lots and lots of weird anime stuff.
Connor's big into anime and manga, so he might, yeah. You should design our next shirt, Connor.
Oh,
yeah. We do a lot of the Warhammer 40K stuff.
Oh, really?
So there's lots of different stuff that comes out of that. And do you know what? I really don't find any of it weird because, I'm sure some people look at the stuff I do and go, that's weird, right? It's not up to me to judge your taste. If you think it's badass, then I want to make it as close to what you want as humanly possible. So when you open up the box, you're like, this is fucking awesome. This is what I wanted.
Hell yeah.
It shouldn't, we don't get to decide what's cool and what's not cool. We haven't had anybody ask for anything that's patently illegal or super terrible. Like nobody's come said, hey, can you put? Surprisingly enough, nobody's asked for a Jeffrey Epstein shirt yet.
Oh, thank God.
I really thought it was coming. I thought there's going to be a whole line of Epstein wear going down, but
the Epstein Islanders team,
right?
Oh,
there might be a shirt there. Actually,
all the numbers are under 18.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing.
oh.
Copyright C1D 2026.
I'm glad that you copyrighted that. That way I can send the lawsuits right to you.
Yeah. That's a 17 jersey exclusive right there.
Exactly.
This is now your problem.
Yeah. Damn it.
That's Andrew.Connor.
Yeah.
So where else? Yeah. Where are you? Intensity with an I. Remember, he's got that one too. Hey, shocker, guys! I lost my train of thought.
I have a few questions here from
Good.
Yeah.
Let's see where we are. I lost. Any chances you'd come to an event out west?
Not in the immediate future. It's something we've sort of batted the idea around. It's just the trailer is stupid expensive to pull. It's just a little under 11,000 pounds, fully loaded. So it absolutely sucks back gas. So we'd have to. It was something that we would probably need to go out and see first, and then the second time we would probably freight some stuff out there and sort of run an old tent setup like we used to run out and not bring the trailer out. I would love to push into the west a little bit. But it's sort of out of our comfort zone in the fact that we just don't know whether those. I know the Ontario and sort of the Eastern audience pretty well, just like I know the Midwest pretty well. When you cross the Rockies, things are a little different, and not in a bad way, in any way, shape, or form. But it's I don't know if the stuff that we make would sell the same way out there.
Well, he's and for Explorer, he's in Saskatchewan. And Saskatchewan, been to Regina many times. Great people, but there's not a lot of people. But somebody like Intensity, not necessarily going there, but establishing something for you, Chris. I mean, it's a perfect fit. Whereas if you go to one of the big box guys that, all the online stuff, you set up your jersey, it looks all great. And then you see it's an extra $70, $80 because it's out of Europe and it's going in the middle of Canada.
Yeah.
A big difference between shipping to Toronto and shipping to Saskatoon. That's for sure. It's rather unfortunate. Intensity doesn't have those issues.
No, we don't, for sure.
No. And it's true. Their name is on my shirt, but it's only on one panel, so I don't get paid.
Right. Well, and that's how it should be, right? I mean, you paid for the shirt. Why would you pay to advertise for us? I mean, if we do a great job, I hope people tell people. And if we don't do a great job, absolutely tell me and tell people. Like, it's the only way we learn. If we've done something that's not right, then point it out. Hey, we think you fucked this up. Let's fix it. I mean, I'm not scared to make mistakes. That's running that gray area is where all the fun is.
Absolutely. It is. Plus, you'll never advance in your company if you don't do that. We are running here about 53 minutes. Connor, have you got a good heady psychological question like you like to hit our people with?
No. I have a question. It's not as psychological.
Well, that's no fun.
Okay.
That's what
it involves anime and tentacles. Just
okay.
Think of it that way.
Let me take my pants off first.
Why do you have them? It's been an hour. They're still on?
Oh my gosh. But no, it's you were mentioning before that that you and your team, you do lots of different things, and that paintball is one of your smaller things in terms of doing like other sports and even esports. And so I was curious because you said you started playing paintball many moons ago in '87. So it's something you're familiar with, and I guess designing jerseys and coming up with stuff, it's easy for you. And so I wonder, when it comes to something like anime or something that you might not be familiar with, like how about you go about that process of like maybe doing research and talking to the client of like how that process is when it's like a field it's new to you, right?
So every new jersey or every new project starts with an interview. And we actually call it the interview, right? There's a certain set of questions that we ask everybody to make sure that we're sort of on the same page before we start designing. And I'll use esports for an example because it was something I was totally unfamiliar with when we started. We literally lucked into esports. And you know what? And I tell people that all the time. You know, a good portion of you can be at the right place at the right time. If you're not ready, it doesn't matter. So you work hard to be ready and hope the opportunity presents itself. But no, I mean everything starts the exact same way. It's an interview. We try and get to know what your goals are, what you want out of the product at the end, what the feel is you're looking for. And then we always start off by, we throw together a front panel and be like, hey, are we headed in the right direction? Do you love this? Do you hate this? What parts do you like? What parts don't you like? And then it's a working sort of dialogue from that point. I love, and I can't speak for the other designers. I don't know, everybody's sort of got their own thing. I love doing stuff I don't normally do. I find with paintball, I have to go back and check old work because sometimes I'll fall into something and I'll be like, this is awesome. And I'll get it like 90% laid out. And somebody will come along and they're like, why are you redoing that jersey? I'm like, oh, fuck.
Shit.
No wonder I liked it.
Yeah, right.
It was your work to start with.
You did that for this team in 2014. And I'm like, how the hell do you remember that? Like, I don't even remember that. So they'll pull up the art and be like, see how close it is? And I'm like, yeah, I guess you're right. It is.
It's a muscle memory.
Yeah, well, and that's the hard part, right? I have to jump between different tasks or else stuff starts to look the same.
Yeah.
So I literally will say, okay, I'm not going to do any paintball stuff for the next 2 weeks. Start throwing at the other guys and I'll start doing baseball stuff. Because I just need to. Baseball stuff is my palate cleanser, right? Because baseball guys almost always want something simple and
classic looking. I love old baseball jerseys.
Yep,
stuff.
me too. Yeah. And they are so easy to design. They take no time and you don't have to put a lot of thought into them. So it really is, like I said, it's like a palate cleanser. It allows me to push out all the stuff I had in my head, be simple, and then come back fresh.
Awesome. Oh my God.
Did I answer your question or did I politician the shit out of that?
No, that was great. I was really interested. I took a business class as an elective, and it's a lot of it was like to create training programs, and so it's not like this obviously, but it's learning a lot about working between clients, and you have your ombuds person or whatever, like all these technical terms, and I never knew anything about it. I took it last semester, and so I was really curious about the business aspect, that relationship between your team and the client and stuff. So yeah,
and for us, we work a little differently. The person you talk to on Facebook, with a rare few exceptions, is not actually the person who does your jersey design. And the reason being is we have a social media team that is available virtually 24/7. If you send a message at 11 o'clock at night or 12 o'clock at night or 1 o'clock in the morning, you're probably going to get a person to answer you within a half hour.
Wow.
You send a message.
Shawn said I can call you at that time.
John's gonna send you a message in half an hour saying, weren't you supposed to send me something?
Yeah, right. So, and the other thing is it's just easier for the designers to have that separation. They only work Monday to Friday. They don't work on weekends. So, to make them do social media stuff on top of it. I don't do a ton of customer facing stuff anymore. We've just gotten a little on the large side for that.
Not a bad problem.
With the exception of a few people. Like I handle your orders. I don't do all your social media interactions, but I do probably 80% of them. But once, sort of how it works with our design team is once you picked up a jersey or a team and you continue to work with that team, you have an idea of what they're looking for. So to give you a different designer just doesn't make sense. Exactly. They're going to give you something that is totally different than what you've had in the past. And
it's true.
Doesn't necessarily work.
When I talked about those headbands, as I was sitting there looking at the jersey and that maple leaf logo there, everybody says it looks like a pot logo, but that kind of fits half our fucking team. But anyway, it's how
that's what a real maple leaf looks like.
But when I'm sitting there going, I said maybe on a headband, and it's like I know. I said, I'll give this. Can you incorporate that on it? And, he comes back a day or two and he just got some subtle striping on it that blends it in with the jersey. And it's like, love it. Love it. It's all tied in. I thought, like, somebody said, do you want to redesign your jersey? And it's like, no, that's our jersey for games. We got our screw around jersey and the other one, but that's our game jersey. That's what you should wear at the big games. And, we get the headbands to match. I'm looking at the pants. Connor gets a freebie he uses Purple Haze because he's a medic, because he has to stand out. So, although we're rocking around with Ball Lover on the back of your shirt on your jersey, kind of stands out. They did not like that one in Airsoft. They were, yeah. And I'm dead serious.
So, funny story. I am probably the last person who should ever, interact with customers, because I have zero filter and I just say whatever. So some guy comes up and he's like, hey, I really like that shirt. Any chance you'd do it in a button up? And I'm like, no, because button ups are for pussies, right? And he just turned around and walked away. And I looked at my guys and I'm like, too much? And they're like, apparently.
Yeah.
I'm totally joking around, right? I'm like, he's wearing a button up, right? I'm like, oh, yeah. I'm gonna take a shot at it, right?
Yeah.
He like didn't say another word. He's just like walks away. I'm like, oh shit.
Sorry,
this
man.
is a different crowd.
Yeah. I'd have been like, I'm the biggest pussy please make that for me.
Yeah. I don't wear button-ups because I'm fat and they make me, they get the stretch marks in the center.
And I pop buttons all day.
Bro, I don't pop buttons, but they you can tell that they're working hard.
Under the rest.
Yeah, I'm getting a little bigger up the middle, so it's just maybe just the 2 buttons on top I can get away with. Yeah.
We make Henleys.
Oh, there we go. Do we have any more questions here? Because we've gone the hour, and we've gone an hour. Wow. Jeff, any questions? I mean, they're just looking for more stuff. And Shawn I already told Shawn, work on, that I may just give him free reign next year, our 10th anniversary Purple Haze. It will be an alternate jersey for games, but it's going to be special for the 10th anniversary. And I have total faith in Shawn and tackling that one.
So we'll ghost a bunch of dicks into it, is what you're saying?
Yes.
Oh, no.
You can do that? Woo!
What?
Glow in the dark dicks. You can only see.
Really? So 20th anniversary patch that actually glows in the dark.
Nice.
Oh, no, nice.
That's beautiful.
Wow. Speaking of dicks, you'll be able to see me coming.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Oh, wait a minute.
What movie was that? Was that you Andrew? You should probably get this because you're old. Was that A Fish Called Wanda where they had the sword fight with the glow in the dark condoms?
No, that was Skin Deep.
Skin Deep.
No.
Was it?
No.
I think it was A Fish Called
Wanda. It was a mainstream movie for sure.
Okay.
It had
Kevin Kline and
it was Kevin.
That was A Fish Called Wanda, but it also did it with Jack Ritter and with the fluorescent condoms. That was Jack.
You know a lot about fluorescent condoms. That's got me a little concerned. Connor's like, why do I do this to myself?
I just hope my girlfriend's not listening at this rate because it was her first time playing yesterday. So I'm like, come listen to the podcast.
You didn't warn us.
Do you know what? It's my fault. I bring out the deranged people. It's okay. It's not normally like this.
That's why I like dealing with you too. You're just like me. Jeff, are you off any nights this week?
Yes.
Okay.
No, I'm working Tuesday, Wednesday night.
Okay.
Thursday morning I'm working.
Okay.
Friday I'm moving Jared. So
how does he go from I'm off every night this week to working 4 of the 5 days?
Yeah, I didn't get that.
Well, I'm coming off of vacation. I do 4 days, and go back on vacation. So that's why I was caught in my cycle.
Okay. All right.
Jeff is exposed to a lot of jet fuel fumes on working
Jet
days.
A1A.
No, we're going to have a podcast, even if it's just a quick one tomorrow night for half an hour, 45 minutes, because
everyone's fine. I'm off.
Our game day before D-Day. Oh, okay. Our game days before D-Day, Shawn, we just go around and we putz around. We usually putz around anyway. But yesterday, Connor brought his girlfriend for the first time. She hadn't played before. She's just a tiny little thing. And we used some drone footage there and just a little thing. and she ended up being a savage killer in the end.
Absolutely.
And
the little ones always are. My youngest daughter is, well, she's almost a midget, actually. I say that. We make fun of her.
Lovingly.
She's 4'11" on her license. If she was 4'10", she'd be legally a dwarf. So we always ride her. And I'm 6'7", right? So I don't know where it came from. But I'll tell you,
how do you ride her at 6'7"?
Did you have a milkman?
Yeah, no, I didn't. My wife was close with the neighbor, though. I don't know what that was all about.
You mean the midget?
Right. But I'll tell you, she is the most vicious person on the face of this earth.
If you're just talking about wives in particular, because and yesterday, no, we're saving that story for the podcast. But wait, this is the podcast. But his girlfriend went out. We'll save it for the story.
No, I can say it now.
You can say
Shawn
it now.
Can hear it. It's pretty funny. She was a little nervous her first couple games. You know, everybody is. You're kind of weird if you're going out to get shot and stuff. You're paying for it, so. You know, I offered so many times, like, hey, you can shoot me. Let's get it over with, like this first thing, and you'll see I'm gonna be okay. You're not gonna hurt anybody because she's too sweet to play. And so it's like, I don't know. And so one of our good friends, Trent, came out, member of the group, and he's like, hey, I'll let you shoot me. You know, I love getting shot. Blah blah blah. So she accepted. It's like, yeah, I'll do it. That's great idea. Whatever. And so he goes a couple feet away, whatever, 20 feet or whatever, I think.
Yeah, he's about 15, 20 feet away,
Yeah. So I see she's aiming like way too high, and she's already taken a few shots of the marker, but never at somebody, like to aim somewhere specifically. I'm like, okay, let's bring that down a little bit. And I was too focused on helping her, like, you know, squeeze the trigger and stuff that I didn't realize she put it back up. So
she pulled the trigger. So she kind of,
So she, with her first ever shot on somebody, she gets him in the face, but not in the face, but on the top of the head. It's like, oh wow, nice shots.
Because he doesn't have a C1D bandana on,
right?
Yeah. So then you see the paint leak in the pink paint, and it's like, no, that's a little dark for pink, and cut his head open.
There's 2 seconds, the trigger, and all of a sudden everybody's quiet, and blood starts coming down, and just pants begin to piss everywhere. Everybody's just laughing,
and it did not make her feel more comfortable.
Why? Walking around and thrashing around.
Yeah. It was a funny story. It was so funny.
Well, that's how you hook somebody for life, right? You draw blood the first time. She's like, yeah, I like this.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, you stay or you run.
Another C1D exclusive. You just got the best story for our next podcast.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to thank Connor, Jeff, Mike for joining. We're all in this circus together. We got our own rings. But more importantly, Shawn from Intensity Paintball. He's a great guy to chat with. It's the place to be on D-Day. As you heard from this, he loves his job. He cares about it. His stuff is top notch. He makes the customer through his interview process and everything, as he mentioned, with his clients. Look, I'm on the other side. I admitted at the beginning of the show that I'm really hard certain creative things like, no, I've wanted these shirts for ages. No, he's a professional. Listen to this guy. He will make sure you're happy. And we'll see. Shawn, thank you so much for coming out.
Yeah, it was awesome. I'm glad if I was finally able to come on.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. And all 8 people that listen will be prouder of it. And
get a red shirt now?
Including my elderly parents who are going to order their paintball jerseys now. But you really need to rush it because it's been a tough week on them. Okay. I want to thank everybody again for listening. A lot of people out there were listening, making comments. We couldn't quite get to them enough because we were enjoying them with Shawn. Continue the chat. We will have a podcast about game day. Thanks for the podcast. Have a good evening. Thank you, Pierre. Pierre is a star. He's the one that does our 3D printing and that. We have to have him on, period. Plus, he's a real soldier. He's a real soldier, French soldier. He gives me his footage on his GoPro, And I'm so impressed and terrified at the same time. I will never play against him. Never. Anyway, good way to end it. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for listening. And just like you heard, no problem, Adam, you're welcome. Listen to what Shawn was talking about. He makes it enjoyable because he understands how fun it is. Even an old bastards like Jeff and I, just getting that package and just seeing that, and we just love it. And I want to thank you for that. Now that I have disposable income in my later in life, I appreciate it.
Yeah, well, we're happy to take it. I mean, happy to be here.
All right, and I explained to you how it works. We'll meet you for wine and cheese in the green room after, Shawn.
Yeah, for sure.
So we'll do the outro here. Remember, guys, at the end of the day, it's just a game.